Elevator Pitch is here and back once again. The only podcast rewatching movies? No, that's not true. That's what every podcast does. But we're going to do something different today. We are going to do a rewatch podcast on the movie La La Land. 2016, directed by Damien Chazelle, starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. And we're going to get into why we're going to do La La Land, other than it's a banger. But this might work, this might not work. We're gonna kind of feel it out as we go.
Yeah.
So this is Watch Party. Let's do this. This is Watch Party. This is kind of like a sub podcast, mini podcast within the Elevator Pitch feed that we're going to try to do right now. I'm here with Caleb Saad, who is a friend of the pod.
Thank you.
Editor.
Do we usually put like an intro in between?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
We got the elevator. You know what's funny about this one is there's an entire exchange in La La Land about how Emma Stone thinks that jazz is just elevator music.
Yeah.
And I can't say that this podcast is helping that, because we play jazz before every episode, but really don't sit with it and live with it in a way of conflict, the way that it's romanticized in this movie. You know?
Yeah. Do you? I think it's a good question right off the bat.
Yeah.
Do you like jazz?
Do I like jazz?
Yeah.
I like. Well, as Emma Stone says, I like jazz now that Ryan Gosling has showed me jazz.
That is 100% true.
Ryan Gosling is he's a white guy who saved jazz. We are two white guys who are going to save podcasting, so it's only fitting that we're here. I like jazz. You know, I think the most insightful thing that they say about jazz, other than that entire monologue, which I think is like so important to the movie, to really understand why this guy loves it. But I think it is actually something you do have to see more than you do have to hear.
Have you been to a jazz club in LA?
No, I've been to one in New York. I went on a date. This is probably like, oh my God, this was like 7 years ago. I was in New York for like a month. I'm from New York, but I was in the city for like a month, and went on a date with this girl who I don't think we ever went out again. But we did, like, it was one of those things where like the date wasn't good, but the venue was incredible. Yeah. So you're like, I'm not sure if I'm having a good time or not.
Do I really like this girl, or am I just having an incredible time?
And it was this jazz club. I forget which one it was. It was in the Village in New York, and the tubist, is tubist the right word?
Yeah.
Trumpeter. They were like on the fucking tables.
Really?
Like ripping. Yeah. And it was exactly what Gosling was saying in the movie, where it's like, holy shit, I'm seeing so much conflict up here, you know? And also, it's new every time.
I think the idea of like most people who watch a band, they have a set list and they prepare it and they play it. And like the idea of like, you can do improv in music. Yeah. Like to me, that still doesn't even register. Like I don't have that musical talent to be able to like, me playing.
You're just talking about jazz?
Yeah, just jazz in general. I think it's a special thing to like watch, and you don't really understand it, like he says, until you see it.
But
unfold.
You do know how to do it in podcasting, though. I mean, this is like
that's true. This is a
This is your form of jazz.
Yes,
this is your second podcast of the day. This might be a little more experimental, you know?
Yeah, third podcast on the Elevator Pitch.
Is this your third time here?
This is my third time.
Are you counting the time that you subbed in for Tanner?
No.
For like, no.
I was Tanner. Robbie P for Mickey 17. Then Happy Gilmore 2.
We did the
some
Gilmore
of our
one.
Best work.
Yeah, I felt like half a part of that. I had a little like maybe like a second delay where it kind of kept my best.
Yeah, because we forgot you weren't even there. I felt like you were in the room with us.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, La La Land.
Yeah.
2016.
Did I
get that wrong already?
No, that's right.
Okay.
Because it was the 2017 Oscars.
Yeah.
Most infamous Oscars.
What were you gonna say though?
Well, I just want to tell you about like my first time watching this.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing to you. So you can go first, and then maybe I'll go second, and then people will maybe turn it off before we even start.
Yeah.
They've already driven their car off PCH into the
They're like,
water.
I did not come to this podcast for jazz discussions, but. If you're sticking around, thank you, because
jazz was born in a flop house in New Orleans. Podcasting was born in a garage in the Valley.
And my obsession with movies was born in my bedroom in my sophomore year of high school.
Oh,
watching this film on a cracked Galaxy S3 Android.
Wow.
I was in that era. I was 15 years old.
The way Chazelle intended.
And I was in the era of like, oh, I'm getting really into movies, but like I really like Christopher Nolan and like David Fincher movies.
Yeah.
I was in that vibe, but like every guy's got to go through that.
Just to be clear, you hate them now, right?
They're still incredible. Those are still my favorite movies. But
no, but yeah.
I was like, oh, I want to be the Oscar guy and watch all the movies. And I was like, oh, I heard La La Land's getting a lot of buzz, but like, it's a musical. Like, I'm not going to be into it. And I had like this old Android that was physically cracked and like software cracked, where like I could watch all the new movie releases on it. And I'm just like in my bed on a school night, like, all right, I'll watch this like stupid musical movie. And like when I shit you not, I'm up at 3 a.m. crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
After like literally just being like breathtaken by how incredible this movie was. Like it transcended how horrible the viewing experience was, and like not the way anyone should watch a movie. But it like literally incepted. I was like, I not only do I want to of the character LA, which is what I ended up doing.
Dance,
like,
which you always do.
Tap dance in the streets, go on the pier and dance with an older couple.
Yeah. Home, right?
Of course. Traded for a fedora, you know? But I was like, I want the feeling that I just had, I want to like be the one giving other people that feeling. Like I want to make movies myself. And like truly like, and it's very cliche out in LA, which I think we'll talk about all the LA cliches that this movie represents very well.
Yeah.
You talk to so many people in LA, guys a lot, and you're like, oh, what's your favorite movie? They're like, La La Land. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for La La Land.
You think that like dudes around LA are saying it's their favorite movie?
I've heard that a lot.
All right.
Where people say it's their favorite movie and that got them into LA and movies and moving out here.
Yeah, I think that and I've heard this said about on another rival rewatch podcast about another movie that has this very similar technical feeling of like it's like an overt technical use to communicate themes, you know? Yeah. Very like sun-soaked palettes or romantic sun. You know, a lot of these like the cinematography, there's a lot of like intention, and you can kind of see what they're doing technically. Yeah. That makes you like understand like, oh, you don't just have to point a camera somewhere and film them. Like you can do other things. And I understand why it's blue when it's sad, or it's you know, red when it's romantic, or whatever it might be, or you know, whatever. But it's one of those that communicates it in a legible way for someone who's not
and it's very
a film theorist.
It's a great film 101. Like it was on literally on the cover of my textbook.
Yes,
when I went to film school. It was like this is like if you want to break down like film theory and color theory,
you can kind of go one to one with it very easily. Yeah. I was gonna bring this up later, but you kind of jumped into it where like, a lot of dudes love this movie. I mean, you're the producer of Hug Your Bros. I mean, you know dudes very well. But I'm just can't keep tying it back. But but I think that like there's a real like reflexive property with the fact that it's a movie, and I just want to like kind of just put in the Ryan Gosling, because that's like I think more of Chazelle writing himself into it with the jazz part of it. But in a lot of ways, it's two people, but Gosling especially, who is really passionate about this dying form of music, jazz, and is basically passionate about it. And as I said before, teaches us why he's passionate about it. Yeah. And wants to open up this jazz club. And the movie itself is about, is Damien Chazelle making a 1960s musical, which no one gives a fuck about. Yeah. Like the music in it. And him, through these technical ways of doing so, through the camera movements and the light filters or whatever it might be, showing us how passionate he is about this thing, and us understanding that on a Samsung Galaxy S phone. Yes. and then us becoming passionate for musicals. Like you're saying, dudes love this movie. I keep saying dudes love this movie like we're at a fucking Barstool podcast, but like, the idea that like my friends who work in commercial real estate, they're like, La La Land fucking changed my life. Yeah. It's like, that's a real thing. Yeah. And it's because we understand Damien Chazelle's passion through Ryan Gosling's passion, through Emma Stone's passion. And it is absolutely true that when we see someone who's passionate about something, it, as Emma Stone says in this movie, reminds us what that feeling is like and what we're missing.
It's like, I think for me, like she says, like, he's like, do you even like jazz? And she's like, I didn't, but I do now because of you.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like, I didn't like musicals. I didn't really like movies in this way beyond a crazy third act twist where Gwyneth Paltrow's head is in a box. I thought that was like the pinnacle of movie making.
That's fucking sick, dude.
But it's like, you watch someone who knows exactly what they're doing with the camera, with every like frame of this movie. And that passion exudes across the board. And you're like, oh, I get it now. Like, I get that movies can be so many different things. And I think this movie shows beyond just like a lot of people say it's the Singing in the Rain homage and it's very nostalgic. But like the way that it transcends from that opening number to being like a really, serious drama. And it's like kind of loses the musicality as it goes on and becomes more serious.
Then it brings it back in places that you're not expecting it to be, or you're not expecting how the music is going to be used when it brings it back.
Yeah.
I think Chazelle, I'm not sure we should, maybe now is the best time, but like Chazelle is, I think one of his biggest powers as a writer, and just to refresh anyone, like Damien Chazelle is the writer-director of La La Land, also Whiplash before that, did First Man after La La Land.
Also Whiplash before Whiplash.
Oh yes, thank you. The short film Whiplash. Was the other one, Guy and Maddie in the park with a trumpet or something?
That's the only Chazelle movie I haven't seen.
Will Peters has seen that movie, if you want to ask him about it. But
I don't think he wrote First Man.
Oh, did he not write First Man?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I think he was for hire, but Babylon, which it kind of shows that
he actually wrote the piano player. There's a movie about like a bomb and a piano starring Elijah Wood. He had some screenwriting credits.
He did 10. He's a credit on 10 Cloverfield Lane as well.
Yes, he wrote that
Very
one, and he wrote one of the Conjuring movies or something like that. Yeah. But and then obviously Babylon was his kind of like illustrious misfire / triumph, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But one of his best powers, I think specifically as a writer, is that he is able to like come up with two conflicting ideas, right?
Yeah.
And this comes through in La La Land a lot. John Legend specifically talking to Gosling about like these guys were pioneers who made jazz. What are you doing pioneering? Just, trying to make chicken on a stick club or whatever it is. And there's so many examples of this being like Emma Stone's kind of like idea of acting is like another thing. Like two things are completely true. And this is like Whiplash too, where it's like J.K. Simmons is a maniacal, ruthless, manipulative, like maniac who's ruining Miles Teller's life, but
kind of right.
Yeah, kind of right.
He's kind of right.
I think that like bad writing is always falling into the trap of like what I think is true and everything else is wrong. It's like Chazelle's like, no. There's two things that are true and you're going to see them come to a head right now.
And honestly, like John Legend makes a great point where he's like, you're such a traditionalist and like the people that you idolize were pushing the medium forward and you're trying to sit here like with your stick in the sand and like not move and go backwards in time.
Yeah. And I think that is like, I think what is the like basically the root of why I think people identify with this movie who maybe are not actors or actresses or jazz piano players or even like us and, very passionate about movies because it puts in front of people who maybe come home. I mean, we're in our mid-20s or even when we saw this movie and we were, a little more wide-eyed, kind of entering this adulthood in life puts these two things into form, which is like, here's the life you're supposed to have. Here's the life you want to have. And here's like why even when you follow these passions, it's not like a storybook ending a lot of the time. I think people really connect with that. I think that's like, I think that there's the movie within the movie, which is the end kind of montage is the movie that like, I think people expect him to make. And the movie that he actually makes is the reason that commercial real estate dudes like this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have written here, and I've always loved this about the movie, is it's all about compromise. And
exactly.
You go into, you're pursuing your dream, you move to the city, and you're doing that, and you start a relationship, and like you have all these ideas in your head about how those things are going to go. And the fairy tale ending, the big montage at the end, even in that, there's compromise where like, one of those people has to give something up. Like Ryan Gosling has to give up starting the club in LA, and he does it in Paris, but it's like,
does he do it in Paris though?
Yeah, they show it's like in French.
Oh, it's like Seb's
chicken on a stick, but it's in French in that like red room.
Yeah.
So he does start the club, but it's like not his dream. And so even in the fairy tale ending, like everything. There's no world where those two get to do exactly what they moved out here to do.
I always, and this is kind of something I noticed too. It's like and this is also kind of something that I didn't get until I got older and more cold-hearted and cynical. But like, there's a very fine line between romance and obsession. Yeah, and I think like that's kind of the interesting parallel between Whiplash and La La Land is like Whiplash is heavier on obsession than romance. Yeah. But then La La Land is heavier on romance and obsession, but they're both kind of still there in both those movies. Mm-hmm. And like the I think like Rosemary DeWitt, who plays his sister in that scene in the beginning of the movie, great Gosling jump scare right there. He's got a good moment right there. Yeah. But like when he pulls that move in The Nice Guys a lot too. Yeah, he does it. I think I counted 3 times in this movie. Same year too that they came out. He was pulling that move a lot. Yeah, it's a good one. But like she's like, well, why do you say? He's like, not everything has to be romantic. And he's like, why do you say romantic with such disdain? Yeah. But their idea of romance is obsession, right? Mm-hmm. And like their obsession brings them together in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. Ryan Gosling is like jumping past security guards to get on the lot to see her, and she's running away from like a dinner with like
she more or less cheats on her boyfriend.
Well, listen, I mean,
I'm not faulting her for it. That guy,
I got a lot of thoughts on what's his name? Is it Greg? Greg, yeah. And then also Josh Pence, who plays the brother. He's like, listen, he's like, what is it? Singapore is a third world country. Yeah. But the like that obsession brought them together, right?
They break into Griffith Observatory.
Yeah. You know? But and that's like kind of like, you know, shown through all the tap dancing and everything in the musical. But that same romance and obsession is exactly why they can't be together in the end of the movie. Yeah. Do I think that she has to end up like with her dad, which it seems like I got some questions about. I don't think she ends up with dad. I think the guy who plays her husband, who I'd actually really like in that show. I'm Sorry. You ever seen that show with Andrea Savage?
I know him as Guy Patterson in That Thing You Do.
Oh, Shades. You know, I've never seen That Thing You Do.
Oh, it's great.
We kind of have some That Thing You Do Shades right here.
I think that's a fun, yeah, you can be Shades. You kind of look like Shades. That's what they call him.
Every time I wear shades on a pod, I feel like I'm stealing it from former guest Liam Cullen or someone like that, though, you know.
He does have the monopoly on wearing shades.
I think he does. He does it really well. I'll take him off.
Real quick, I think that's a good... I've always liked that casting. I don't know if it's intentional,
you like it?
But like because he played like a drummer in a band, and it's almost like I think about it when I see that character come up.
Is that guy like, what is he, like an agent at WME, or is he?
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, he's got to be.
Do you think he's like Rick Caruso, or like he's too young? I mean, do you think he's? I don't think he's in entertainment.
I don't think he's and not in the.
I think he's an entertainment lawyer. He reminds me of like Reese Witherspoon's ex-husband, who was like the CIA agent. You know.
I could see. Well, they're in New York at the end, so we don't really know where.
No, they're not. They're in LA.
No, they're visiting.
Oh, you mean that they're like visiting? Oh yeah, they're like, I don't miss this.
Because she's like, yeah, I don't miss this. They live in New York.
Yeah, you're right, because they're staying at the Chateau Marmont.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know, I didn't notice that they were staying at the Chateau Marmont until I saw.
Till you saw the chateau?
No, till I saw it this time. I just didn't put it together.
Well, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's the building. And then I was like, oh, it's a hotel.
Yeah.
Then I also didn't catch up on that they didn't live in LA at that time either until seeing it in person.
It's interesting that they're driving, but they don't live in LA. Like, I guess they keep a car at the chateau.
I mean, she's a.
I know. I'm not saying they can't afford it, but.
Oh, they don't have a driver?
Yeah, because you're like visiting. I don't know. But. But
getting real in the weeds
where
on
the
this.
fuck were we?
Well,
wait. Can I? Oh wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Well, because we were talking about like the obsession thing.
Yeah.
And how like their obsession is like what makes them great for each other, but why
it's
they can't
their bond
be together.
Yeah.
I think what this movie
same
does
thing with
well,
J.K. and Miles
and J.K. in this
Whiplash.
movie, who's obsessed with Christmas music.
Yeah. Same thing with Neil Armstrong and the fucking moon.
Exactly.
Dude. Yeah.
And Manny and just being a good PA.
No, Manny and Margot Robbie.
Yeah, he loves being a PA.
We're talking about Babylon now.
But the depiction of people, like I think the opening Another Day of Sun.
Yeah.
To me on this watch, after having moved to LA, specifically after seeing this movie and being like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Made me realize how egotistical it is to move to LA to pursue the dream. Because everybody has this understanding that everybody in the car around me, everybody at the coffee shop, they're all out here pursuing the dream.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be the one that's going to get past it. And not that people have egos in that sense when you talk to people out in LA, but like it is a kind of egotistical to be like, I'm going to be the one that breaks through the millions of cars on the 405 freeway. And I'm going to be the one that like stands out. I don't know. That's a thought I had on this rewatch. What do you think?
So you're getting kind of like an imposter syndrome a little bit?
Maybe.
I think that. So wait, I interrupted your last.
Well, like, not that I've made it by any means.
Your main character moment.
I edit memes at Friday Beers, but I was like, yo, this is.
Dude, a lot of people consider that another day in the sun right now. You know?
I don't know. I was like, it is ego, and that's fine to have an ego in that way. Like that's what drives who I am as a person, is thinking that I'm going to be I do think I'm going to be the one that's going to make it through those cars. Like I don't know.
La La Land too.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So this is a perfect time to tell you the first time I saw La La Land, as people have already swerved off the road.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a couple years older than you.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize that until you just said that. But okay. So I was already moving to LA by the time that this movie came out. I had decided to go to school here, and it was like early admissions. So that would have been in like September or October or maybe December or something like that when that happens. But yeah, it was like December, right? Early admissions. I was going to go to Loyola Marymount University here in LA. And this movie comes out, I think it was in the spring that year. I was in Saratoga Springs, New York, where I partially grew up. And I remember seeing this with my sister and like having a very similar reaction as like, oh, I didn't know you can do that in a movie before. Like, I think like one of the moments that did that was, there's a real specific moment where the camera, and I guess this is like kind of Edgar Wright-ish, but like, I think it's a little more nuanced here, but like when the camera goes in the water, when the guy jumps in to the beat drop of someone in the crowd there. Like, if you have not seen a lot of movies that's referencing, or like even that camera movement that's referencing, it like blows your fucking mind when you see it. You're like, holy shit.
I mean, like real quick, my moment with that was at the J.K. Simmons restaurant when like the lights turn down and it goes up on him. And it's like a very stereotypical
like, you
musical
can do that?
thing. But like for me, like I haven't seen those movies. It's
exactly.
referencing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is incredible.
You can do that. And this kind of, I mean, this like the paintbrush in which it paints Los Angeles with, and the romance, and also like having a prior relationship with Gosling and Stone in Crazy Stupid Love, a movie that I've always rode with, and I think is now like a movie that like everyone is like, oh, let's just put on Crazy Stupid Love. It's like, where the fuck were you 10 years ago? Like when I was in the fucking trenches with Crazy Stupid Love. You know, everyone's making you're fucking making them damn edits now. You know what I mean? I had some early property on Crazy Stupid Love Island.
That.
But yeah, it like, I mean, I was so amazed by it, and being like in a very main character moment way, in the same way you're talking about, like, I'm gonna fucking conquer this. But in a lot of the ways, the moments of triumph and the romantic moments of making it, or like finding that spark, and like mining for passion within the kind of like mess of it all, is really what stands out. Is like, that's gonna be me. And then I think now, fast forward 26 years old, I see it, you know, for this fifth or sixth time. It's 4 p.m. It's sunny outside. The screen's glaring. It's not the best way to fucking watch it. I've just come home from my menial job. We don't need to talk about it.
Well, I'm just saying, it's you're not similar to a character in the movie,
dude. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I make a little coffee.
You've worked on a lot.
I have
bartended.
Yes.
Or,
baristed. Yeah.
So in a way, you're kind of Mia.
I'm down. Imagine someone was just like, just tell us a story.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to live in Paris.
I used to make a podcast.
I don't know, man. Like in 2025, the lack of shooting in Los Angeles, post-strike, post-wildfires in a lot of ways, and also like understanding and being sobered to like the fact that, I mean, we probably spend most of our days hoping to like break through on like internet videos more than we do even movies in a lot of ways. It feels like the things that stand out to me now when I'm watching this movie, at least in the current moment that I'm watching it, is more like the idea that like everyone is just thinks that you're completely insignificant in a lot of ways. I don't mean to be too dark here, but like that's the part that really hits me now, where I'm like, you know, I mean, I'd laugh so hard when Mia starts doing the it's either my rules, or they're like, all right, thank you very much. I was like, that's the funniest thing ever now, because that is kind of that like, does anyone even give a fuck that I'm here? You know, I know the ins and the outs of the fucking parties, and I know how to get into a studio or whatever it is, but like nobody gives a fuck. That's what really stood out to me. And the romance part felt more like movie plot construction. And it was reversed, because when I first saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that's like the stuff that they're setting up to be like the hard stuff, and then we get to the good stuff. That's the real truth of it. So it's interesting. It kind of puts a mirror up to where you are. And anyway, guys, this is the last episode of Elevator Pitch ever. No, but like, well, you know what I'm saying though?
I guess if you were in LA at that time, because my perception,
which I was for the Oscars when the Oscar mishap happened.
My perception, because you're talking about like what it is representing, is like very different than what it is now. And
I just think that like this was I think it was like a $50 million movie.
Yeah.
Shot completely in LA, and we're talking about all over LA. I mean, Hermosa Beach Pier. The Rialto is a rundown or a shutdown theater in Pasadena, Hollywood, Griffith's Observatory, everywhere in LA this movie is shot.
Yeah.
The year after that, we have the 2017 Oscars and then the 2018 Oscars are two really good Oscar years of like these big movies, right? I mean,
and 2019
was it 2019 was Parasite, right?
Yeah, I guess the 2020.
So it goes Moonlight,
Oscars,
and then what was 2018? Was that
Green Book?
Great
year for the Oscars.
No, but there was a lot of good movies that year.
Correct.
Right. And I actually. Sneaky kind
or was that Green Book? Or
I think it was. Yeah. But like there was this kind of like weird moment where movies I think were making probably more money than they ever had because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But it was like working in a good way.
It was, it
was getting other people to like watch other movies.
Exactly.
It was the best version of that.
It was this weird, and the writing was definitely on the wall, because in streaming television, it really felt like there was money pouring into it to a crazy amount. Really good shows were being made.
Yeah.
But it was like almost like a bubble that was about to burst. And then with that bubble bursting, burst the idea of like shooting in Los Angeles and the idea of like the fifth. It was kind of like the last stand for a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is another big LA movie that shoots the next year after that. And it just, I mean, it feels completely foreign now in a lot of ways.
But I think even this movie is aware of that. Because
it does like constantly get interrupted. It sobers up by the modern, like there's like phone rings that break like, songs and stuff like that. Yeah.
This could have been set in any time period for like the first quarter of it. And then like by, I feel like the second half, you're like, oh, we are truly in the modern world. And like you see those changes of like the Rialto closing as she's driving past it. And like, and, you know, we see that all the time. Like you drive past the Cinerama Dome and it's like these old like staples of LA and Hollywood of the time of old. But like the Hollywood that she is like aspiring to work in, and like the Warner Brothers lot, the movies they're shooting there aren't movies that were being shot.
They're not shooting movies there.
But like in 2016, those weren't the types of movies they were shooting on the Warner Brothers.
Imagine she was like, that's where Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart looked out the window at Casablanca. And that's where they shoot Lego Masters with Rob Lowe.
But remember when they're walking past and they're like, oh, we have to be quiet for this scene.
Yeah.
And they're like shooting on that like little field area. And it's that very like Hollywood version of Hollywood where it's like, oh,
it's still a musical. It's a heightened reality. It's stylized. Yes.
Like my idea of the Warner Brothers lot is like, oh, that's where they shot that episode of Friends, and that's where they shot the episode of Gilmore Girls. Or
they did have. I think the moment they do have that Gilmore Girls square in the back of it. You know, I went on a Warner Brothers tour undercover actually.
Oh, really?
For research.
Little rival.
I swear to God, during a work day, I was paid to. With my boss
to go steal the Gilmore Girls gazebo.
We just have to keep tabs on the competition. Yeah. And we went over and took a tour, and like, God, the tour guide was terrible.
It's a great tour though.
It's
a great
tour guide. That was a great lot.
That's the only one I've toured out here.
No, I know it's stylized, and I know it's harkening back to something that didn't even exist at the time.
Yeah.
But we saw that movie and we felt like that was possible to do in LA. I think that. As I said, kind of working more on the internet and stuff now, it's like, do people who are younger see that and think that's available in LA, or do they think like, is that like, you know, is that Mars? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt a little like Mars watching it
I think I moved out here during the strikes. And so
Yeah.
like, I was moving into like a city, and it was the vibe around town. Like everyone I talked to was like, yeah, like we are on the back burner. Like we've been on the back burner for a while. And
Yeah,
like,
but you moved here to work on the internet, though.
I mean, I moved from Atlanta, where Hollywood moved to, to where they left. Like everybody was like, "What is wrong with you?" But like, I knew the writing on the wall when I was watching this movie is when Atlanta was getting big for Hollywood production. Everyone like in Atlanta had this idea that like La La Land was now in Atlanta, but it was like never that. It was always like they go to a studio out in the country, and they film on a green screen. But like they did that in Vancouver, and then they moved to Atlanta, and now they're in the UK. It's like I knew that wasn't gonna last, but like there's still something magical about LA where like you move here, and even if like you don't see a film production happening right in front of you, it just has that energy, and like maybe it's just the nostalgic history that this
I think
movie
that
shows really well.
It's one of the, and in the same way like Collateral does, or sorry, in a different way, but in the same way that Collateral does, like there's certain LA movies that make you really kind of like try to wrap your head around like what the fuck is it about this place that is just so unique. And there's a couple DVD extras on La La Land where Chazelle and Lina Sandgren, the cinematographer, and Gosling and Stone are talking about, and maybe this is a good time to just kind of like jump into some scenes, but like the tap dance, the tap dance at sundown, I mean, they're shooting that in like 30-minute increments for like 3 nights in a row or something, because they're like, there's a certain moment in the sky in Los Angeles that it gets to the specific color where it's just really hard to get to.
That purple color.
It's just
like,
they hit it perfectly.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's that exact like one of the things the movie does so well is like it gets this so right where it's like the most romantic, magical feeling main character fucking moment you could ever have is like right. It's like right in front of you in Los Angeles.
Like that's just what LA
and
looks
then,
like.
20 minutes later, it's cold and you're walking down a hill and you're trying to find your Toyota Prius or your car is fucking towed. You know, it's like that vacillation is like, what's that meme where it's like the dichotomy is crazy, man.
You got to send me that one.
I'll send you a meme.
The scene where which I want to get to the pool party scene. The
pool party smacks. Which one though?
The first, the second one.
Second one with the screenwriter is pretty all time.
That's literally the guy I want to talk about.
All right, I'll save it.
But when her car gets towed and she's like leaving that neighborhood, like that was my neighborhood. Like when she's like walking down and like ends up at the club or the restaurant.
What neighborhood is that?
I can't dox.
Well, they do. Yeah.
It's lit, but it's like
that's that apartment.
It's off Franklin and Cahuenga.
Okay,
it's like that like neighborhood there.
Yeah,
and like I was like watching, like I literally lived there for a year. Like it's like a cool. Like I saw that sunset. Like I saw everything that like she was experiencing. But the screenwriter, my favorite character in the movie.
So
do you want to do it? Or do you want
No. We got to finish on a couple of these scenes though before we get to the spring pool party.
All right, fair enough.
The tap dancing, I just want to hit for a second as we're there.
Okay.
I guess this is kind of when we could categorize these things, but
yeah,
please guys in the comments, like give us constructive criticism.
Please.
Don't put in quotes, and I see this a lot. Quote, let's make a podcast, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that's not helping us.
Podcast equipment is
really
cheap these days.
Yeah, it's too cheap these days. Guess what, guys?
We didn't pay for this.
I don't think you're helping yourself or me. But anyway, I think that like the idea of this is what's really tough, and this happens when she sings the song too in the audition.
Mm-hmm.
How do you transfer from real life to a musical when you're trying to find your car key? I think like this movie could have been a lot easier to do if it was set in like Singing in the Rain times, you know?
Yeah.
Even Singing in the Rain is set 30 years before it was actually filmed. You know,
yeah.
The idea that they're like shooting a modern musical, and Chazelle references a lot of French musicals in the 60s that are contemporary in their own time. But like, the way that they play that is I don't know how they did it.
Every time I see that scene, because
I'm like studying when it turns from like
the
real
whole
life
one shot
into,
is incredible. But to me, it's the acting ability of like going from.
They're not the best dancers.
No, but like going from like, hey, you know, if you put this key up to here, like, where's my car? And to just like, oh, now we're in a musical.
I think the most essential part
in
of
the
it,
same shot.
The most essential part of it is the like the footwork with the dust kick into the. fuck, dude. It's pretty elite shit. I also think that's why a lot of people like this movie who aren't necessarily like Bob Fosse enthusiasts or like jazz enthusiasts or movie people, is that I think because Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are probably the best. I mean, they won Oscars, or Emma Stone did.
Yeah,
the best version of amateur song and dance men. You know, I mean, they're professional actors, but they're not professional dancers.
It
and
doesn't
they're not professional
feel like when you watch a musical and it's like, oh, now I'm watching trained, top level ballerinas.
But I think that there's this almost aspirational quality where you're like, oh, I know, I identify with them as in like they're not too elite at this, but they're also like really good at this.
Like they clearly train for months.
And but like, you see that and you're like, yo, I could.
Like the Gosling,
I could hit that move on the bench.
Move when he
jumps on the bench.
No, when he's like spinning with his arms and just like going downhill.
Oh
spinning.
yeah, I can fucking hit that.
It's so silly, but like, but her reaction to it is great too. Where she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yo, don't pull that shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to join you. I mean, when he jumps up on the bench and I mean, you see that, and in the same way that Jason Bourne kills a man, or like drives a car really cool, I'm like, yo, I think I could do that.
Yeah. Like that.
I think I could land that 787 fucking inverted, Denzel. It gives you that feeling.
And I think especially because his character is like the last guy you'd expect to break out in musical song and dance, the way he's written.
He's written pretty coldly before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do that. They do that well.
And then like, so when he does, and like when, especially the City of Stars, like when he's like getting really emotional with himself, like we haven't seen him tap into that. So it's like there's a nice balance of like the character that he shows us, like I guess in the real world versus like the musical scenes.
Real quick, can you power rank the songs in La La Land?
Dude, yeah, I that was a question I was gonna ask you. My number one is The Audition, Fools Who Dream.
Audition's number one?
Yeah. That's like for me where I'm just like, because you forget you're watching a musical. But
that's the most like, oh no, don't start singing. All right, I'm down.
That's the exact reaction I had the first time. And then I'm like, I am like,
it takes 30 seconds and you're like, oh, I'm a stone.
I
you're
like
fucking
love
elite.
This. I listened to that in the car. I texted you last night. I listened to the La La Land soundtrack.
You're like behind the barefoot.
And it's the most like theater kid song of them all. But
I think it is.
I love it. And then City of
not my number one.
Stars for me is right below that.
City of Stars is such
both versions because they have like very different. It's the same lyrics, but like very different emotion behind them.
Of course.
First time it's like very optimistic. Second time when it's the duet, you're like, I know this is not going to end well for these two.
Oh, the duet. Oh yeah, because I guess then they do that thing where you think it's over and then they like go back to it and you're like, oh shit.
He's like, I think I wanted to stay. I'm sorry for singing on this podcast.
No, please do.
And then, but they just have this like energy where like this might be the last happy moment they have together. And damn. And also like
you're getting me all beached on here.
That's also one of those, because there's the Me and Sebastian theme, which like doesn't have lyrics to it, but like that is very.
I think the Me and Sebastian's theme is like the most sticky music from this movie in a lot of ways.
And it's like, is it diegetic? Is it not? Because like he plays it, but then she hears it in the restaurant. It's a very interesting theme that they.
You know what I noticed this time, and I never noticed this before, and I hate podcasts that do this, where they're like, "This is a fucking motif," but I am gonna say this. So he tells her jazz is not just a background music, and she's like, it's just a background music to me.
Yeah.
And the song that brought her in is the background music in the restaurant, and she fucking hears it.
Yeah. So in
bravo, Damien Chazelle.
In that scene, you think she's hearing the Sebastian theme, or is she just hearing like a jazz?
You know what's cool is I don't think it matters, but I'm not even sure. I think the way I see it is that song is randomly playing. But that being said, like, is that song even in existence?
It's never explored if he wrote that song, if that's a song that exists that he was playing when she
I
found
think
him.
I mean, it comes out of him on the cassette in the beginning, and he kind of like improvs it, right? Yeah. He kind of goes Avicii levels in reverse on it. Yeah.
So I'd put those three as my like top three.
Okay. That's interesting. My list is a little, I think, dude, I think I'm going to go, I got to go, all right, here's my definitive list.
All right.
Is City of Stars number one. I think that's undeniable. I'm going Somewhere in the Crowd number two.
That's real.
I think Somewhere in the Crowd's a banger, dude.
It's not, like none of these songs are like a nothing song to me, but like I just don't revisit that one as much.
Somewhere in the Crowd is like I could put that on and run like a 5-minute mile right now.
I love that.
Yeah. And then I think the third would be Mia Sebastian theme.
Yeah.
Close fourth. Another Day in the Sun. It just didn't hit for me this time. I don't know why.
I met this guy.
I think I might have just heard it too many times. I
met this guy recently, and I was telling him how like this is one of my favorite movies, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, like I really like that movie, but I hate the opening song number."
I think I know people who really that just turned them off for the movie.
I think,
but it was the least I liked it when I watched it this time.
Correct.
Which I think is because I'm cold, pessimistic, and failing at this.
But I think like you need that song. That is so important to like setting up. It is the most fantastical song and dance number.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's getting out of their cars. It's the most theater.
Such a good idea.
And then it slowly, like as we said, devolves into just like the last song before the epilogue is the audition song where it's her in a room just like singing by herself. Like to go from that to that song, and then really like the Messengers like song, like that's not really like a musical.
I think that song slaps.
It does slap.
I was actually gonna bring that up.
But it's not like a musical number in the same way. It's big, but it's not like a musical.
Dude, now we're just jumping around, but the Messengers, first of all, the Messengers I saw this on the YouTube video interview that she watched.
Yeah.
This local Chicago radio station has almost 1 million views on the Messenger.
In 2016, too.
In 2016, 1 million views on like a 5-minute, like, we're here with the Messengers, neo jazz group. Okay. And they're doing like what? Like 3,000 seat theaters, would you say?
Yeah. Pretty solid.
So like, it seems like they're pretty big. I would say they're kind of like MJ Lenderman, maybe.
We know that they had like 3 months to get from Ryan Gosling joining the band to like that level.
I think the song's a banger. I don't think they're as big as they are. I just meant by MJ Lenderman like the type of like venues they're playing.
Yeah.
But
they probably honestly like opening for another band,
dude. But Gosling, his contract, he's getting paid $1,000 a week plus a cut of revenue and merch.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if the Messengers are doing too much merch sales.
Yeah.
But 1,000 a week, that's like nothing. Because he's probably working, 60 hours a week?
But like when he hears that, he's like,
yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.
Holy shit, this is the most money I've ever heard in my entire life.
Dude, he's making like $21 an hour as a part. He's as the keys man in the Messengers?
Is like the token hot dude on the keys in the corner.
Okay, this is something I'm going to save a little bit, but I do think that him playing that weird future keyboard is like, yeah, kind of like hits
it's like not even real keys. It's just like pads.
Yeah,
like they're not like
I don't know what that thing is, but like a big what if of this movie is like, dude, maybe like you could have just could we see like maybe like a DVD extra or like maybe like. He owns the jazz club, but like once a month he breaks out the weird.
Someone's like, come on, bring out the synth.
That's solo.
You get that one Messenger's head in the audience. It's like,
dude, isn't that the guy from the fucking Messengers?
Dude, it's the guy, dude, bring out the synth. He's like, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, the Messengers haven't been the same since Sebastian left, bro. I think that his solo just kind of hits really hard in that song. Yeah. And Mia's like, whoa, that's not him. It's like, yo, this guy is.
This is the coolest anyone's ever looked. Like, what are you talking about? He's got like 3 keyboards all around him.
He's doing a lot.
Breaks out the synth.
He's doing a lot, and and it's funny because he plays like Mia Sebastian theme in the restaurant, and it's like him reading the Bible.
Yeah.
But then he's playing 3 keyboards on stage in front of thousands of people, and he's like, it seems like he's like thinking about like the roster for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, he's just like, this is nothing for me.
This is
the
nothing
emotion
for me.
Behind it.
I'm like smirking at my girlfriend in the crowd. I'm playing 4 keyboards, man. Picture this: you're at work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Who friggin' knows? And then ding, an email comes into the inbox. It's the Pioneer newsletter. You read through it. You say, God damn, if that wasn't a cold cocktail for my inbox. Sign up today at thepioneer.online. That's thepioneer.online. All right, back to the show. All right, what about Second Pool Party? Speaking of keyboards, his other creative keyboard in this is his guitar. Yeah. The Pool Party.
Great rendition of Take On Me and Iran.
Yeah, do you remember the screenwriter's name? So she's introduced to the screenwriter.
I don't remember his name, but
it's like a dumb name. It doesn't really matter.
It is my favorite depiction of like guy in LA that everybody's met.
Yeah, I really have a knack for world building.
He goes, I got a lot of heat on me right now.
A lot of heat. You know, it's funny because you work so hard for a while. It's just cool that it pays off.
Do you remember what he says he's working on.
It's like Goldilocks from the perspective.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it again?
It's Goldilocks from the perspective of the Bears. It could be a real big franchise.
You know what's funny is that like at post Barbie, there was like there was like a Barney movie that was like
Hot Wheels movie
supposed to be grunge.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound that far off.
Well, dude, I think Chazelle was like really tapped into something where like that sounds like such an absurd premise, but like that is 100%. Once the Goldilocks, because they made like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Oh yeah,
after it gets like
is
public
Goldilocks
domain,
in the public domain?
Once it gets public domain,
yeah.
I think 100% that's going to be a franchise.
I mean, dude, it's just really good because that guy's worked so hard for a while. It's glad it's paying off.
But you've met that guy before.
Oh,
in
100%.
LA. Like everybody who's lived in LA has to be like told by a quote unquote screenwriter or director. The first thing that he says is just like yeah, I'm going to brag about this stuff on me right now.
I think I mean, both Somewhere in the Crowd and then The Scene, they both have that because they're, I think, like essentially the same party with different musical numbers. But
it's the winter party and the summer party.
It's the winter party and the summer party. But like, I think what's like really funny / weird is that do you think that? And I think, you know, Somewhere in the Crowd is a song that's about like, hey, someone in the crowd could be the one who, you know. Do you think that Chazelle / do you believe that do you believe that meeting people at like parties in LA is a worthwhile networking opportunity?
I think so. And I think it's less like you're going to meet the producer who's like, you're perfect for my movie. I think it's
you might meet a screenwriter with some heat on him.
You might meet a screenwriter with some heat on him and he needs a guy to direct his Goldilocks movie. I think it's like you meet the people like us who then go into like their next, and it might even be like,
but that's not the type of party they were at though.
No, but I think
that's like
I think the someone in the crowd is referring to the producer that you meet at those parties. But I think the idea of like in LA, you can meet anyone that ends up being your next job. But it like might be like, hey, I need a PA. Like when I first moved out here,
I guess she meets Gosling at the party.
Well, she had already met him.
Yeah, but she re-meets him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Like the idea of like the someone in the crowd like could notice you.
I think that it's horse shit.
Yeah.
I think that you know what's funny is that so Mia gets discovered during her very lowly attended play, Goodbye Boulder City.
Yeah.
Which seemingly has like 6 people in the audience or something.
3 of them being her old roommates.
Yeah. All right. By the way, just side note. Oh, side note. She's got 6 people in the audience. All right. 3 of them being her roommates. Gosling not there. All right. And she goes backstage after this performance, and there are 2 people talking shit about this. You're telling me that out of the 6 people there, 2 people were like, yeah, well, I hear this is play Goodbye Boulder City, like, and they stay for the entire thing, and they're like,
these
fuck
2
this
like
thing.
They were like depicted as like 2 like bro like frat guys or whatever. It's like what are they doing?
Where were they in the crowd?
Their Saturday night. Yeah. Like, hey dude, we should check out this one woman show on the east side.
Don't quit your day job. It's like, don't you know her? I think they were my best explanation is those 2 dudes are like probably hooking up with her roommates maybe.
Or I was thinking
or they haven't hooked up with the roommates, but they're trying to, and they agreed to go to the roommates' play because they want to.
They were like that. They were at the bar the whole time.
No, they're like these girls. Like they went to like offhand wine bar with them a couple times, and they're like, yeah, like hey, you have to come to my roommate's play. It's gonna be so good. And these guys are like, yeah, sure, and they go. That's like I think the most realistic situation of that. But other than that, it's like, who the fuck
or they
are those
work
guys?
there. They could just be like guys who work there.
Oh, you think they got like stage-hands? You think they were selling?
Yeah,
you think they were selling like Smart Puffs in the lobby?
Well, I think that like we were talking about earlier, the getting recognized, like the fact that there's
let me tie back.
Casting director going to this to this one.
She did
show.
Email a lot of casting directors.
It's true.
Yeah, so one of them came.
But I think like that today is like, hey, I made this sketch on Instagram, and it getting like blowing up, and then a casting director be like, oh, she would be great for this role.
You know what's funny is I think that the one-man show is actually the one example of like what could be consistently tied into. Like I think that you could get someone to go to a one-man show today and be like, that person can.
They got it.
We're gonna, they got it. Yeah.
Well, the movie that she is, I guess, if you're looking for movie that's never been made in the 2010s on in Hollywood, which is we're gonna rehearse for 4 months, shoot in Paris for 3 months.
When is that ever working?
Never. But I guess if that's the movie you're making, then yeah, you would be seeking
It's going to be a process. We have no script, no story, no director. We don't even know what this is about.
We have like a financer from the Middle East who just like really wants to get a movie
We
made.
have the Saudi Wealth Fund.
Yeah.
And
who is making this movie?
Yeah, we're just looking for someone who really has a story. So just tell us a story.
So I guess in that sense, it makes sense that the casting director would be like going to these
So we know that they're shooting in Paris.
Yeah.
But they don't have a script. So they know like what the movie's about.
Some like, oh, it's got to be some French like tax embezzlement thing.
You think it's some Macron money in there?
Yeah, they're like, all right, we got to push this we got to launder this money through somewhere. Let's just get some American producer.
Yeah.
And we'll let them like make a movie. We'll give them a bunch of money.
Wait, I want to go back though.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting deep in it. We're getting Messenger's territory.
Back to, do I think you can be recognized? I think what I just realized is that, so they're at the party, Gosling is doing something he is not passionate about, but he's still really good at. I do love him on autopilot in this movie.
Yeah.
Where he's like, and he does like a couple of those. Yeah. The flow down. He's on autopilot and she recognizes him almost like in like a reverse, as Gosling likes to say, a rope-a-dope type way. She recognizes that this is something that he could be passionate, but not in this form, right?
Yeah.
That's who she recognizes at the party.
Well, because she's seen him in his true form.
His element. Yeah, exactly. And then he also calls himself a serious musician there.
Yeah.
I call myself a serious podcaster all the time.
Of course.
But so like, I think like that's someone you can meet, you know? Like, you know, if we link up at a party or something like that, you know, like it's like, oh, I recognize who that person is. I don't think that the person you're going to meet is like who you're sold on meeting, which is the in the agent, producer, manager class. I think that parties are like the opportunistic folk at parties. It's like actually kind of the hardest place to connect. It's actually better to connect with someone who's just trying to make money off you or in reverse, like in a more sober way. Yeah. Like at a coffee or in a meeting.
Have you been to parties like that?
I've been to a couple, yeah.
Okay.
And like, I think that like the biggest thing is like everyone has a rehearsed monologue of what they want to, like what they want to say to someone.
Yeah.
Like what you're working on, where you work.
Your elevator pitch, if you will.
I mean, dude, before we started this, I just told you about Partiful on some like mixer. It's literally what it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like that in itself, like creates this kind of like sameness, right?
Yeah.
That you actually kind of have to be like the band guy or like the waiter or you have to be like a little bit different for there to be a kind of a genuine connection, you know?
Because like, yeah, if you are the someone in the crowd that wants to be met by people like us.
Yeah, two people who want to be met are not going to fucking...
Yeah, they're not mingling. They're not going to remember like the 100 people that are like, hey, like I'm working on this thing and I'm a huge shoo-in for this role or whatever.
I think that's part of the thing that this movie does really well is it distinguishes between psychopaths who are really passionate about something and people who are, I guess, far more responsible and boring, you know? Yeah. Like Greg, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg. That guy who plays him, what's his name again?
I have no idea. What
he's
else?
He's in The Big Short. He plays one of the. He plays the young broker.
He looks
who works
like he just
Pitt.
hopped off the set of The Big Short and then into this movie.
Yeah, well, he does. He's like a finance dude in this movie. But his name is. Oh, I hate editing. Ugh, I got to keep talking so I don't have to edit now.
This is Matt talking, so he doesn't have to edit.
This is Phil time, people.
Wait, you're talking about Greg, not his brother.
Dude, I just saw him in a movie the other. Oh, Finn Whitrock.
Okay.
He was in this movie on Netflix. Here's the plot of this movie. He's like a serial killer who like meets this woman on top of a mountain, and then he injects her with something that she can't move because he's gonna kill her after with it. And this woman has to escape.
Feels like he should just kill her.
Well, it's a whole like God complex thing. Yeah, you should watch it.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it, but but Finn Whitrock, I love him, dude.
Yeah.
But he's like he's actually like a really nice guy. Like when he comes over, he's like, you forgot. He's not like, babe, Dane Cook special 30 minutes or anything. He's not like Adam Scott in Step Brothers. He's actually like, it's okay. Yeah, totally cool. He's a really nice guy. Then he gets to dinner and he's like, my brother's the sickest. Like, isn't this cool that he just fucking switch flipped into Mandarin on the phone? But they distinguish between the responsible, boring folk and the Goslings out there who are like,
I'm curious how
I'm going to go to the Rialto at 10 p.m. and watch Rebel Without a Cause
with a suit on.
Yeah, I want to. I got that in my moves.
Because I think what they do really well with him and really well with her future husband casting, and just like the way they show those characters, that like you have no inner life of those characters, and like even her roommates, like outside
how much inner life do they have themselves?
Even Sebastian's sister, like they're all stereotypes of like the best friend or the boyfriend roles in these like movies.
But that's how other people feel to people who are like relentlessly pursuing something that's like not gonna work.
And I think the idea,
who the fuck are these people?
A lot of people walk away being like, oh, it should have been the fairy tale ending. Like, I hate that she's with this random guy, but it's like, we haven't seen their movie together.
Yeah.
You know, like we haven't seen her and Greg's, like Greg.
They might hit a tap dance from time to time.
Greg and her could have been hitting the tap dance all the time, and then she moved on to Gosling.
Who do you think the screenwriter ends up with? Maybe like, do you think he dates one of her roommates for a little while?
I think they go on because
I got a par for you in the Goldilocks.
They seemed a little bit like, all right, I'll like play the Hollywood game, dating game a little bit. Like they were definitely more.
They were a little more, yeah.
Like
they paint them as a little more opportunistic.
Yeah,
like they want to get more famous than Emma
yeah,
Stone does.
And like not in a bad way, but they're like, you know, they're having fun at these parties. Like they love it. Like they're playing the game. And I think he gets like a couple months with one of them, and they're like, this guy sucks. Like the Goldilocks movie didn't pan out.
Oh, you think?
See you later.
He's like, yeah, I'm actually teaching a class to undergrads at a Chapman right now.
Yeah, he becomes a screenwriting teacher, but like private gig.
It's just cool because you work really hard for a while and you start working at Khan Academy. Anyway, do you have any other scenes specifically? I feel like we kind of hit on a bunch of them.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really hit on the second half of the movie a lot.
What do you mean? We got a couple in there.
Well, specifically from
we got a lot of the messengers. We covered the messengers. Yeah,
I don't know. I just
covered the play.
I love not their full on breakup scene, but the fight.
So yeah, that seems really good.
It's really hard to watch. It's really good. I mean, it's the classic like blow up line, music cuts off, but like it just works so well.
Kind of a Chazelle heat check on the dialogue.
There's only 2 shot angles. I mean, there's like the wide or like the medium shot and then the close up, and that's like the only 2 shots that we get of those 2 characters. And he does a similar ish thing in Whiplash with what's her name? His girlfriend.
Melissa Benoist.
Yeah, with her and Miles Teller.
That's actually the biggest fumble of all time, by the way.
It is.
Miles Teller.
100%.
Yeah, but anyway.
But like the way he shoots, like he's very bombastic with like everything else in the movie. But when he's just shooting like a dialogue scene, a romantic dialogue scene or a breakup scene, like he's really good at knowing when to cut it on that close up and like when to pull the music back.
When to keep it still, too.
When to keep it still. Yeah. And then it shifts to the handheld with the fire alarm going off. Like it's just those really small things. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but when you do it so well, that's those moments you have where you're like, damn, I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, it's kind of the classic, and this is real film schooly, but a lot of the scenes of them falling in love are 2 shots, you know?
Yeah.
They're kind of in a wide of both of them kind of longingly looking at each other. There's a sunset behind them or whatever it is. And then it's same with the Whiplash scene when they're breaking up at the pizza place, the diner.
Yeah.
He switches to shot reverse shot.
Yeah, like their first date is in that wide when I think they're getting pizza.
Yeah, and then it's like, I'm breaking up with you. It breaks up it shows their conflict through breaking up the shots. Yeah.
And yeah, like he's just
cool.
It's those scenes stick out when everything else is so magical.
Yeah.
And then also
it's also like the darkest room ever. They're like, let's eat dinner. It's like, yo, like I can't even see your fucking face in here.
I can't tell if I love or hate that apartment.
I mean, I've thought about this apartment a lot.
Yeah. Most of their apartments are also
This is what I've specifically thought about a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple notes on both of them. But like with her apartment, she's got a mural of Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
In her bedroom, like a professionally painted mural, it's a musical, it's set design, whatever. I think that like it's kind of cool that this movie is like so interested in like the ghosts of like Hollywood's past that are kind of like haunting people who are trying to make it. You know what I mean by that?
Do you know whose apartment that is? Like in real life where they shot that up?
No.
This might have to be a cut, but like
no, we're keeping it in.
I don't want to like I want to say Robert Redford maybe. It's a big Hollywood actor's like he lived there.
Like at what point did he live there?
Like just in the real world, like in his like young days.
Oh, like a long time ago.
All right.
So we got Redford's apartment.
That was a shot in the dark, but exactly what you were saying about how like you're living in the ghosts of Hollywood.
I feel that way a lot now. This has kind of turned into therapy couch for me, but I do feel like pretty like haunted by people that I was like when you're younger and you like look up to people, you're like, oh, I want to like be like that. And then you get older and you're like, no, like their success is now kind of like haunting me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she definitely put that mural in her apartment, or that mural's in her apartment because she wants.
She owns that because she brings it to Sebastian's apartment.
You're right. Yeah. Like she definitely puts it there because that's like vision board, like mood board, you know?
Yeah.
And then once things don't start working out for her, those types of things start kind of like staring her down as like, look who you're not.
God, I can't find it.
Fire.
We'll put in an editor.
We'll call it Redford's apartment.
Yeah, we'll call it Robert Redford's apartment. But
Redford actually lived there when they were shooting.
Yeah.
He was out doing all his lost.
He just
so
lent them his
out.
spare bedroom.
He was doing Old Man in the Gun.
Both like really cool apartments to be people down on their luck. I mean, I guess she lived with like a 4-bedroom house, like so that's like reasonable. But like,
well, he had Hobie's stool. Wait, Hobie, what's his name?
I forget. But he's from LA, or at least from California, right?
He's more LA. I mean, yeah.
That's more feasible. Like you kind of know, you got some
sisters
connections.
There. He's a Dodgers fan, as we learned. He's wearing the hat.
Yeah.
His hat, by the way, looks like they got it off like fanatics.com like 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we need to have some like this guy likes sports.
It's got the fucking.
That's how they got the dudes in.
Yeah, it's got the 49 Twins logo in it. Anyway, but his apartment I've thought about a lot because he does this thing where he's like, all I do is I make black coffee, put a record on, and then just start jamming on the piano. And I've definitely been in moments where I'm like, I have to get some like creative work done in some way, and I'm like, ooh. And it kind of reminds me of like Gosling in that, where it's just like nothing else matters in the town right now. It's 2 p.m. It's 70 degrees out.
I don't care what my roommates are doing or my neighbors are doing above me.
I'm sitting in the living room. I'm drinking black coffee and I'm going to cook it out. And you know what? It's not as cool. It's not as cool at all. Yeah. Anyway.
I guess last scene, and this is a good segue into just like the Chazelle universe.
Into moves.
Is this one of the best endings in a movie of all time?
It's one of the. I think it's an ending that worked so well that Chazelle was like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Well, but it's the second time he did it. Whiplash is the only Whiplash is one of the perfect endings I've ever seen.
Whiplash is
I would put below it, but like I love this ending.
It's right there. It's so unexpected how long every time you watch it, you forget how long. It's like an overture, but it's not an overture because it's in the end, not the beginning.
Yeah.
What is that called? I don't know, but it is like an overture. It has all of the score in a condensed form with this like visualization of the fantasy. I always forget how creative they are about how they show that stuff.
Yeah, it's like
when it starts getting into them watching like the 16 millimeter film of themselves, you're like
pushes in on the projector screen.
Yeah, you can see the shadow of them looking at it. It's like, at what point in filming was Chazelle like convincing Gosling and Stone to be like, all right, we're gonna shoot you guys in like a house in the
that was
60s. Trust me, it's gonna work.
Literally, I was like, man, that would have been a magical day on set to just like probably like Chazelle and Linus. Just be like, all right, let's just go film the 2 hottest people of all time. Just running in the woods, frolicking,
just having a fucking
just
baby.
Making out. Like that would have been a fun day on set.
I think it's great. I you know what I do bump up against though? He hits those last notes. I mean, I'm sure in the moment in that jazz club, it was like less cool if you were just watching him play it. He hits those last notes so slowly. It's pretty like moving for us as you got to think of jazz. These guys are like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
It's like, all right. This is the guy from the Messengers. Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I think the guy from the Messengers.
Bring out the synth.
Yeah. Imagine be like someone screamed that. Yo, what about we could start a fire?
That's his Wonderwall. He can never escape it.
We want John Legend.
No, but I
think the ending is really good.
It is. I do think about that.
It's a fire ending.
Because he's obviously not playing like all of that music. He's just doing like the Me and Sebastian theme in the real world.
The end is just like, it's so slow and it's just the 3 keys. It's like you got to think after a while. People are a little confused what's going on.
All right. It's like, is that Mia from the Paris movie?
Also, this is kind of unanswerable question territory, but so this dude, let's call him, the head of unscripted at WME. He's married to Emma Stone, movie star.
Yep.
Mia, what's her last name? Boulder City.
Yeah,
Boulder City.
Boulder City.
You got to think that in the span of a marriage and having like a 3-year-old daughter, they've discussed like, who was your last partner? Who were you last in love with? Oh, is this guy? He's actually a jazz musician. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So they go in this jazz club. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's go in here. And she looks like she is just like basically like seen like her dead grandfather up there.
Yeah.
And he has no care in the world. He's like, great performance. Yeah.
Man, that was awesome. Is that the guy from The Messenger?
Honey,
hey, that logo looks a lot like something you've drawn for me.
Honey, that niche Chicago radio station I subscribe to on YouTube, I'm pretty sure I saw about 5 minutes of interview with him.
Well, I mean, that had to have been a conversation they had.
How does he not notice who that guy is?
I don't think in the moment, like maybe he's having his whole vision with Ryan.
It's 2016. We got Instagram, dude.
I think he's having his own fantasy with Ryan. I think every person in that room is having a "what if I ended up with Ryan Gosling" fantasy while he's playing that song. Because you look at all the other musicians, they're like, "Oh my god, this guy."
Yeah.
I think everyone is envisioning their life with Ryan Gosling in that scene,
including him,
including WME McGee.
I think he has WME McGee. I like that. I think he has no idea who he is.
No. It doesn't feel like they've talked about that.
Because when he asks her, he's like, you want to stay for another? You could see he's kind of like smirking like he wants to stay for another.
Yeah.
She's like, no. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you, that's one of those like the Castaway thing where it's like, how does the marriage go on after
he's at the top of the
Chuck
stairs,
Nolan
like looking
back
down like, all right, you said you wanted to leave. Like, what are you still looking at this guy?
What do you think dinner's like after that? So yeah, that jazz club is pretty interesting. She's like, yeah, I've just reconsidered my entire life. But it seems like there's closure. There is closure.
Yeah.
That's the whole point is there's closure.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty funny.
But I mean, that's like truly the beautiful thing of the movie that I was saying. Like, we don't see their movie together.
It's true.
Her and WME McGee.
But
we don't know, like,
there's no way she doesn't tell him.
She has to after that.
Yeah.
Like, she has to.
Actually, yeah, it's funny, honey. Actually, that guy who did the incredible piano playing up there, who's like the hottest guy in the world, that's the last guy I fucked before you.
I would not be here if it wasn't for that guy. So
he's like, all right.
You can thank him that he broke my heart.
He's like, I'm gonna drown myself in the pool at the Chateau Marmont now. Have a good life. That was dark. Anyway. Ending's really good.
Ending's
hard
great,
cut too.
I mean, I love
Chazelle's hard cut jazz on all of his endings.
I just love an ending that like knows when you've reached the peak of your movie.
Yeah.
And it's like time to get out. There's no, I mean, that is the epilogue, but there's no like post, let's talk about what we learned here today. You know, like it's just insane. Whiplash does it even better than this, where you have like the classic storytelling structure. Like you reach the climax and then it's like, and it's the same thing with the two people staring at each other.
No
like,
added beats, yeah.
Two conflicting ideals staring at each other, and then
I forget how First Man ends. I know it's quieter.
It's him in the like quarantine chamber with his wife, and they don't say anything, but it's the same thing. It's two people just looking at each other.
Okay, so Whiplash ends with two people looking at each other. La La Land ends with two people looking at each other. First Man ends with two people looking at each other. And Babylon ends with a dude looking at someone on a screen.
Looking at us.
He's
looking at the audience. So
beautiful. I think that,
and it is the same structure. Like it's the
same thing. Yeah, it's two things that can be true that are conflicting. You
and
know?
I love the Babylon ending.
I mean, you like the whole thing, or it's just like more that
it works for me. Like it's not.
It worked for me the last time I saw it.
It really works for me. It's jarring the first time you see it, but I think
it's pretty funny.
I cried the first time I saw it.
You did?
I cried. I was like, this is the magic of the movies. It is kind of silly that like I'm seeing Avatar and like and Terminator, but like it nails home like what that movie was trying to accomplish. And it's not as like,
I still think it's a little unfocused.
It's not as tastefully done as like Whiplash and La La Land, where it's like this is true to like the core of this movie. But like for like a movie about movies, more specifically in Babylon's case, whereas this is much more like the emotional core of the characters.
Yeah,
I think it works for me. And I'm not putting in the S tier of best movie endings of all time with La La Land and Whiplash, but it does it for me.
It does it there. Yeah. All right. Well, do you have any categories you'd like to bring to the table? I was going to ask you about that.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think
should we like trial run some right now?
I think you talked about like doing like best move.
We're reaching the end right now.
Yeah.
About an hour 10 in.
We're trying to reach the S tier of endings. We're gonna really like ramp this thing up.
We both have to just look at each other.
And then we're just gonna look at each other.
No.
Cut to jazz.
I do have some. Can we do some moves?
Yeah, I love the moves.
Okay.
I think it also works for like literally me moves.
Yes.
You weren't as well versed on like the Ryan Gosling literally.
Listen, I'm like a Biboween. Is it Bibowin? Bibowin follower on the grams.
Like when
stuff.
Barbie
I don't support
came
his
out,
9/11 content, but we can get past that. But the Gosling memeage from this movie and his others is pretty apparent.
Yeah,
I'm talking to a meme expert right now. So like, you know what's funny is I actually used a clip when we did our Emma Stone episode way back when this podcast wasn't popular. Psych. But it was like I used the final scene of La La Land, and I did a little text tracking stuff. It was very rudimentary. I'm never showing it to you, but it was weird because I watched it this time, and it like kind of like soured the ending a little bit.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh, I've like seen this in a form that I've tried to put it in something else.
I have seen.
So I was wondering if that's the case with you and Ryan Gosling movies.
I haven't touched this movie as aggressively in my work here.
Yeah,
I try to stay away from stuff that hold this the chest. I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Yeah, that's true.
But the guy who had my job before me did a La La Land ending scene, and I was like, it's hard not to think about.
Is it good?
It's hilarious, but it's like about like Emma Stone like just blew up the bathroom, and like her locking eyes with Ryan Gosling at the end.
Dude, Gosling has, and this is probably ties into why we haven't hit Stone a lot. I don't know why I haven't hit Stone.
I mean, she's incredible. But
we hit her in this movie a lot in our Emma Stone podcast episode.
Okay, yeah, so rewatch that to get all the Emma Stone lore that you need from the elevator pitch.
There's a lot of like memeage with Gosling because I think he's very identifiable universally in like the yearning he puts on screen and throughout his movies. It's very like male Twitter core.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, you know.
I mean, he is the Biba when.
Yeah, it's like the we're so over, we're so back.
Yeah.
Personification.
Yes.
And man, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's a jazz player or a replicant hunter or whatever. He's got
first man on the moon.
Yeah, he's got that same look always.
Well, give me your moves that you got. I want to hear.
Well, we kind of touched on a couple of them. I mean, I think going to a movie theater in a suit is an interesting one to bring up. I mean, he wears a lot of suits. He wears a lot of great ties in this movie. He's like the one example of like you can wear a suit casually if you look like Ryan Gosling.
Because had Emma Stone showed up in the outfit she planned, like she was wearing like a flannel.
She was wearing a flannel, yeah.
Like he still would have matched.
He still
would have
been in the suit. It would have been fine.
He would have matched her vibe. Like
such a good
I don't know
point.
I don't know how to put a suit on that isn't for a wedding, to like just like go hang out somewhere. I don't know how he does it.
I think you got to be really good at piano.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to drive that car.
Yeah.
Too. But I think suits of the movie. It's been kind of now memified by the gentle minions, kids in the suits.
We also just don't wear suits.
Yeah,
anymore.
but also the guys who pulled up to Oppenheimer dressed like Robert J. in the suits and the hats.
Robert J.
Yeah, but like, dude, he was just like, this is what I wear to a date.
Yeah.
But it's also at 10 p.m. on a Monday.
He also
I challenge.
He knew it off the bat.
Yeah, so it's playing.
He was like, yeah, it's playing Rialto, 10 p.m. Like, dude, this guy's awesome.
I was rewatching It's Complicated, which I think should be on this watch party show in the future. And Steve Martin asks Meryl Streep's like, hey, you want to come to the French Film Fest they're playing at the theater? And she's like, oh, and she makes up an excuse. And he's like, oh, fuck. He turns to, he's like, hey, do you want VIP tickets to the entire weekend of the French Film Fest? Here's my point is that people who like memorize and like buy prearranged tickets to movies for other people that don't know they're going to a movie.
Yeah.
Is that a move itself? I don't know. I don't think it is.
It could be seen as very like psychotic. I think
it's psycho. I think it's psycho that he knew that it was playing at that time.
As a guy who like doesn't really seem that interested in movies or like the Hollywood industry at large.
Who,
like,
Gosling?
Yeah. Sebastian isn't like a film buff.
But he actually is though.
Not to the point that
he's
he knows
quoting
the
Rebel Without a Cause.
Okay, but like he doesn't know the show times of. He doesn't feel like a guy. Like
yeah, he's definitely not like he doesn't donate to like the American Cinematheque.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like they're playing Rebel Without a Cause. It's actually in VistaVision.
Yeah,
we haven't seen it there yet.
But he does feel like a guy who would prefer the Rialto over like AMC.
Yeah,
Studio City.
He's not.
He's 100% going to the
traditional
traditional
guy.
theater.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so he's wearing the suit to the movie. I like that.
I'm
gonna start doing that.
That I love, and it's like specific, but it's very romantic move.
Yeah.
Is when he after the "What a Waste of a Lovely Night" scene, he walks her to her car.
Yeah, and
he's like, "Oh, I'm right up the street," and then walks all the way back to the party. That's where his car is.
What's your move then?
Just like walking a girl. Like I said, it's a very romantic move. Walking a girl to her car and then just like faking that like, oh yeah, I don't have like that much to do after this, and just walking all the way back to the party.
I think that's
It's
actually
romantic.
No, that is a good.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
actually,
nice date move.
That's a
you
good
know?
gotcha in the movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you just be nice to a girl or to a guy friend that you're just walking to his car, and you're like, I want to make sure he gets to his car.
Make sure that they're out of the sight line, walk back the other way.
Exactly. Yeah, the walk up for a step and then.
Well, you're tying into my next move.
Yeah.
This is something that I think could be done.
Could be done.
Okay, so they do the tap dance.
Yeah.
Right before what you're saying happens. It's beautiful. It's spontaneous. It just happens when you fall in love. In the montage of summer later, when they're going to all the places and the sister gets engaged and it's the good song, they get off like a trolley or something, and they hit a couple moves from their tap dance that they did before. Here's my move.
Is that when he like shuts the gate on the guy?
He shuts the gate. They hit a couple taps,
and the guy's just like, "All right, I don't get paid enough to do it."
All right, guys, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the move is like get your girlfriend or get your boyfriend and learn just a couple steps.
Yeah.
And so when you guys are excited and you're out in the open, you just look at each other, do a little wink.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na. Just keep on with your day.
And you know the relationship's
That's a real
over
flex.
when like you do it and she doesn't. You're just like, man, where did we go wrong?
Yeah, fuck, honey. I thought we were tapping.
That's
right
a good
now.
vibe check. There.
Yeah, it's a good vibe check.
Yeah, I love that.
Do you have any others? I got a couple.
I talked about it earlier, but just main character moment walking out on the pier, which I think they're in Hermosa Beach next to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Which we don't have
It
to
is
talk
Hermosa.
about the logistics of getting from Burbank to
In
Hermosa
classic,
Beach.
there's no LA movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few, but like most LA movies, I would say. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like the best example of it, and even that has a couple wrinkles. But even in Once Upon a Time, it actually does say like they're at El Coyote, which is 20 minutes away from where they are.
It's built into the plot of it.
I mean, Collateral is like the biggest example of this, where it's like I'll get
I
to
can get to the downtown
in 15 minutes from the airport. But this movie is like probably one of the most heinous examples of.
Next scene cut, which they took separate cars. So you're telling me she's just in the car for an hour and a half?
Yeah, they're in the Warner Brothers on Burbank at like 5 p.m.
Yeah,
and then they
she
get to
just
the
got off
lighthouse,
work.
and by like 7 p.m. he's in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
But the move of just like the main character moment, walking out on the pier at sunset, and then just like dance with an older woman who has a husband.
So the older woman's essential in this?
Yeah, 100%. But in general,
so your move is finding old ladies to dance with at sunset. This is it's kind of a Tanner coded move.
Yeah, I could see Tanner doing it. I wish I had the balls to pull this one off. I think Tanner could do it.
Here's
better.
my problem with main character moment at sunset.
Yeah.
Not to challenge your move. I love it. But it's really tough to feel like Gosling in this movie without AirPods.
Yeah.
And if you have AirPods in, are you more so simulating your life as a movie, or are you
right?
I actually did a meme on this on the page the other day.
Because like when he has those main character moments, he's singing, he's breaking
feels
reality.
the music. Yeah.
So in a way, you have to like get your headspace in the music to like feel that. But like
he's
you're
singing,
right.
he's singing right there. Yeah. Have you ever sang "City of Stars" on a pier, or you just listened to it?
No, I'm not at that level yet. I'm working my way up.
Okay.
I'm just AirPod hoodie on, just like I'm the coolest guy on this.
I got wall murals.
I like wall murals. I'm trying to decorate my apartment now, and I'm like, I got the same posters I've had for 2 years.
A lot of artists in town. Why don't you get someone to just paint a fucking face on your wall?
Yeah.
That's actually Hulk Hogan on my wall.
Yeah.
It's 10 feet tall.
Local guy who lives on the curb outside. He's a legend with the spray can.
I have one other big one too.
Yep.
Okay, Gosling, and I held on this with all really with all my might. When he's during his momentous performance with the Messengers, he does this thing where he plays, and he does it later too. When he's doing Deck the Halls, anytime he's interested or anytime he's disinterested in playing piano, this is my move. One hand piano playing, other hand in pocket.
Oh yeah,
he goes one hand in pocket piano playing. Have you ever seen that before?
No, because it shows you have that much prowess that like not only do you not care about what you're playing, which is far better than 99% of human beings, but you can just have your other hand just like
in your pocket. I'm not only am I not using this hand, I know I'm not going to need this hand. He's on stage. He goes hand in pocket.
Just doing, is that when he's doing the synth, or is that when
he goes synth and his other hand's in his pocket, and then he goes to the other keyboard, it's still in his fucking pocket.
Real quick, great character we haven't touched on is the photographer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy's great.
Bite your lip.
Like he made Ryan Gosling the stupidest he could ever look in this
I
movie.
think that they actually, if I have a note about a good scene, I think that they actually went too stupid on the look of, I know it's a musical and everything's supposed to be a little exaggerated, but like, I mean, he looks like he's on like season 2 of America's Best Dance Crew.
When he's got like the hat on, like the
yeah. It's a mesh hat. It's a white mesh hat.
I mean, do those photographer guys still exist anymore?
Well, those, I mean, I would assume so. I've only worked on one photo shoot in my life, and it was a different type of photography vibe. It was less like loud.
Yeah, we don't have to harp on this scene too much, but I feel like that's how I in my mind like explain why that photo shoot was so important. Is like, this guy, he's a legend of like the British like photography.
Oh, you think he was a legend?
I think so. I think that's why it was like we have this guy booked for like 2 hours.
Well, John Legend does say, oh no, I think when he says they're booked, I think it's like for a magazine, and that's just the magazine who they hired.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that guy's just a legend of the game. Let me have this.
He's like the Annie Leibovitz of
hey,
jazz
we didn't see
magazine photographers.
We didn't see what the pictures looked like. Maybe Ryan Gosling was crushing it from his eye. You know, we don't know.
I'm sure the shot they used is when he's pondering his relationship. It's probably a pretty good shot.
What's wrong with this? It doesn't bloody work. That's the problem. All right, you got any more moves?
I got this is a minor one. Just having a cassette player in your car. I like the way he rewinds.
Yeah.
I'd like the idea of like listening to like Diet Pepsi, like Addison Rae, and being like, hold on.
Yeah. Gas. Go back.
I mean, his car is just a cool thing, but the cassette player especially. I own a couple cassettes. I like cassettes.
Even just having CDs in your car.
Dude, I have a CD player in my car because it's a little older. And when I was in Amsterdam, I was at the record store from Before Sunrise.
Beautiful.
It's pretty fire. By the way, the listening room doesn't exist. I opened the door where it was. It just led to another store. What the fuck?
How many people probably wandered in that store on accident?
But I picked up a couple CDs there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna put these in my car. It's gonna be sick. Yeah.
Some drive on the 405 just at night. Just put those on.
Yeah. Find love of your life, rehearsing lines in her Prius. Honk at her. Meet her later. Meet her at a pool party. We were playing a guitar. She tells you to listen to Iran.
I was gonna say that's a good Emma Stone move. The Mia move is just like spiting someone that that spited you earlier.
Some of her best work is when she's dancing to Iran.
That's the hottest she's ever looked.
You know, it's funny. They actually like they vacillate between making sure we don't think that she's like because they go Gosling like this guy's gonna be the hottest guy the entire movie.
Yeah,
but Stone, there's a lot of scenes where she's in the elevator with the taller women,
and they get the traditional Hollywood hot actresses around her.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about on the Stone pod was like, I don't know if there's a lot of actresses who have her ability to vacillate between being completely insignificant, nobody stare at me, and like I'm the most magnetic, beautiful person on earth.
Yeah.
It's something that she does in like Easy A. She does it in all these movies. It's pretty insane how she does it.
But I think her
eyes are a big part of that. I mean, she's just got these like insane
biggest eyes.
Yeah.
In that scene when she's like doing the dance to Iran, like especially at that party where like everyone is doing
everyone's like, I got a lot of heat around my my Bernstein Bears script.
Exactly. It's like I think that is like that's what like makes her so attractive in that scene to Ryan Gosling and to the audience. Is like,
they're above.
Oh, she doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And like whereas he is like so like in his own skin about like I can't believe I'm playing this song and wearing this like this red jacket and stuff. I think
that's why they're the real ones and they're not the fake ones.
Exactly.
Neither of them have ever been interested in fame throughout the entire movie, which makes them the main characters of La La Land
because they become the most famous people.
There you go.
Love it.
Wow. I think we covered the entire movie.
Dude, I think we covered it. I mean,
this is good. I liked Watch Party.
We touched Chazelle's career, which I really wanted to hit.
And we're at
youngest best Oscar winner.
Yeah, this movie won. It almost won Best Picture before they almost got away with it.
And honestly, like they
almost got
at the time.
Guy was like, thank you to my wife. He's like, dude, you didn't win.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Who was that guy?
We don't even need to touch on the Oscar thing because I think it's just like a mute point at this point.
It's been discussed enough.
But I think that shows the staying power of this movie. And like Moonlight I think should have won that year, and like it was a more important cultural movie of the time. And like I'm glad that won because I think that gives it more staying power than it might have had.
It does bring up the argument though, like what makes a better movie? A movie that you want to watch more often, or a movie that's more impactful when you do watch it?
Like I haven't rewatched that movie since it came out, but like
I've seen it twice.
I think about it a lot, and like I want to revisit it. But whenever I'm like, man, I really want to get in my like main character vibe, I'll put on La La Land, throw the soundtrack on. Like I will always.
You don't identify with Tyrone as much.
Not so much as I do Ryan Gosling in this movie, but it's a great movie. But yeah, I mean But I will say, like seeing Damien Chazelle like winning the award.
He won director,
best director, youngest to ever do it. Like that was.
You guys kind of look like each other, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. That was part of my like. After watching this movie and then seeing what he did, and like I watched. Have you heard of the show The Eddie?
I never watched it. I know he.
That's how much like stock I have in Chazelle. Where I watched every episode of that series. A very fine Netflix show about like a jazz club in France.
Yeah,
he directed the first two episodes.
Speaking of Moonlight with Andre Holland, who's excellent in Moonlight. Yeah,
it's his first two episodes are like pretty good, but like I will like show up day one for any Chazelle project.
Yeah, I mean just to kind of. I mean, this movie won let's see what it won right here.
Let me see if I can get director.
So it won 6 Oscars.
Director, cinematography, best actress, production design.
It won directing, screenplay, actress, cinematography,
and then so that's 4.
Music, Justin Hurwitz.
Oh yeah,
I met Justin Hurwitz.
Was it score and original song?
He won original song. For what song though? I wish it was We Could Start a Fire, but it's not that one.
Was it
best electric keyboard
City
solo?
City of Stars?
No, it was it? It was City of Stars.
City of Stars, yeah.
Justin Hurwitz wrote on Curb Your Enthusiasm as well.
Yeah, I saw that after one of the episodes. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's when I met him. I was in the office. No, I didn't work on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was in an office where they wrote Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it shared a kitchen with the Curb office.
Yeah.
And there was this guy. I'd always see him in the kitchen. He was like, young, but like he just looked kind of stressed out. Yeah. He was like polite and nice. He just was like, he wasn't like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, dude, like, all right, kind of weird, but like cool guy. 2 years later, I'm like watching, or I'm like a year later, sorry, I'm watching the Oscars. I'm like, holy shit.
That's the guy.
This guy fucking wrote City of Stars. So shout out to him.
That's another, I love that those guys just have each other's back. Chazelle and Hurwitz.
Yeah, he's just like, I only do your movies, and they're all going to be bangers.
The First Man soundtrack, I have that on vinyl.
You have it on vinyl?
Yeah, it's a moon print. It looks like the moon.
Yeah, I mean, dude, so Babylon. What was the one? Na Coke Room.
Yeah,
Coke Room.
I will say Babylon has a lot of La La Land.
Well, it has Mia Sebastian theme.
Yeah, which is like, some people were like, oh, that's like lazy. I'm like, I don't know. Like these movies are so in conversation with each other.
Yeah,
that. It's like you can't not think about La La Land.
Exactly.
And then when you hear that, you're like, okay, this is clearly wants you to think about the way he's depicting Hollywood in these two movies.
Wow. All right. Well,
that's all I got.
Apex Mountain. No. All right.
All right. Now for most rewatchable scene.
Most rewatchable scene brought to you by State Farm. All right, let's get out of here. Cool casting. What ifs though? You know, this movie was almost Emma Roberts and Miles Teller.
Horrible.
I think Miles Teller could have pulled it off.
Really? I was gonna say Emma Roberts could have pulled it off.
Not Emma Roberts. What's her name? Hermione.
Oh, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson. Thank you. That was almost it. Anyway.
Should we stare in each other's eyes and then?
Should we do it here? This is good for the audio medium. Wait, no. It's like I look at you, and then you look at me. All right. Cut to jazz. Now. Thank you for listening to Watch Party. We'll be back with Elevator Pitch and Will Peters next week, back from Croatia.
Woo, Will Peters! See you guys. Thanks for having me on.